Hey friends, this is Miss Ghuneim, your art teacher here at Crippen Elementary. Well, we've come upon a very exciting week here at Crippen. This week is going to be the first week that we have students here on campus for the first time since March. About half of our student population will be here at Crippen, and then the other half will be, just like you, remote learning from home. So your art lessons are going to pretty much look the same as they have been. You're going to continue to watch the lessons online. You're going to find them in Canvas. You're going to follow along with the lesson in the video, and then submit your lesson with a picture online in Canvas, just like you have been doing in the past. One important thing I want you guys to realize is that the lessons that you are going to be doing at home will be the exact same lessons that the kids here at Crippen in my art classroom will be doing here. So this is the art piece that we're going to do today. This is called a landscape, and we're going to create a landscape using art lines. I'm going to show you some examples of a landscape, cityscape, seascape, and skyscape. These are actual photos that I took on my phone in real life. My family and I like to travel the world, and what I did with these photos was I created them into digital art, so they kind of look like paintings. Check these out so you can see the differences between a landscape and other types of scapes as well. Here's an example of a landscape. You can see some water, but the focus is mainly on the land that's close and far. This here is a cityscape that shows a combination of homes, religious temples, and buildings. This is a downtown cityscape. I love this seascape from this summer. A seascape features ocean or a body of water, even if there's land in the background. Now this one here is a skyscape. Now these clouds are pretty much the same size, except the ones that are closer look bigger and the ones that are further away look smaller. The supplies you will need for today's art lesson are a piece of paper, a pencil to draw with, and then something to color with. You can use crayons, markers, color pencils, or even paint. I'm going to draw with a Sharpie so that you can see my lines clearly. Okay friends, we're going to draw a landscape with art lines. Now this is just my example. You can use all of it or parts of it to create your own landscape, or you can be creative and do something totally different with your art lines. So I'm going to start with a bumpy line for water. So I'm getting ready to start my land here, and I've got my water and it's gonna meet the grass. So I'll do a zigzag line for grass, and notice I kind of vary the lines so it looks natural like real grass does. Then I can move on to some trees. What I'm planning to do is like the sample that I showed you earlier, where I have water, grass with trees, and then a sky with some clouds, and maybe some mountains in the sky as well. For my tree line, I'm going to again do a bumpy line, just facing the other way. And again, I'm varying my bumpy line so it looks like real trees. So this is the treetop, the bushy part of the tree. And now I'm going to go in with some straight lines and add the tree trunks. And I'm going to vary these as well so that it kind of looks like a real forest. So some of the tree trunks will be closer together, they'll look further away, and then the ones that are further apart, well, they'll look like they're closer. That's that element of art we call space. Try not to be too precise here, because sometimes it doesn't need to be perfect. Actually, in art, a lot of times it doesn't need to be perfect. The main important thing is to enjoy your art, even if it's just the process that you're enjoying. You can add branches onto your trees. Maybe even for these closer ones, we can make them look, the branches look thicker because, well, they're supposed to appear closer. So just a couple of these. Here's another thicker one. Just kind of doubled the line up to make it look like it's closer, and it's completely up to you because you are the artist. The reason why we practice art lines so much and we use them in almost all of our art is because they are what we use to draw. So now we have water, a grass line, tree trunks, and then the tree tops. And now I think I'm going to add some mountains, so I'm going to do a zigzag line. Again, I'm varying the sizes. Oops. And to show the mountain tops, I'll add a wavy line. Now you can use any lines that you want, friends, whenever you're drawing your landscape. So if you wanted this to be a zigzag or a bumpy line or a spiral or whatever you like, it's up to you. Remember, use your creativity, you are the artist. And then at the very top, I'm going to add some clouds. Again, I'm going to use a bumpy line, varying the sizes of the clouds. Some will be smaller and appear further away, while others will be a little bit larger and they'll appear closer. I think I'll make this cloud look like part of the top is showing. And I'm gonna add some curved lines in my clouds just to kind of add a little bit of fluffy cloud texture. It's implied texture. I can't really feel it because it's just a drawing. And for the rest of this video, it is time-lapse time. So I just used different markers. Some of the markers were older, so they weren't working as well. And then I tried to experiment with some color blending with markers. It's not as easy to blend with markers, but I still gave it a try. And even though it didn't blend perfectly, that's okay. I just kept going. So I cannot wait to see what you guys do this week. Just remember that art is once a week. You will have an assignment due once a week. And if you want to, if you need to catch up, you can go back and do the old assignments as well. Here's the finished product. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.